Hey everyone, I'm back. I've got 5 more games for you to check out. 2 of them were really hard to get working, and I actually spent a lot of time and extra effort trying to figure them out and get them running. So that's kind of why there's a little bit of a delay in the video. And unfortunately, since it's Thanksgiving next week, I don't think I'm going to be able to put a video out. I'll be able to probably play the games, but I think all the editing and whatnot might be a little bit too hard. So probably not going to have a video next week, but hopefully early the week after that there will be. So let's get to the games. Flat Out 3 is a racing game of sorts. You've got a bunch of different modes you can choose, and most of the tracks are locked to begin with. You've got a lot of cars you can choose and skins to choose from and such. The characters you get to select seem to range from a bunch of badass dudes to sexy women. But let's just go with Ron Jeremy here. And it's time for a race. Okay, there seems to be a problem here. I selected the controller, and let's just see the button config. Oh, it's empty. Okay, well, I guess let's do that then. And we're off. And we're fishtailing wildly. And that is pretty much what I experienced in this game quite a bit, is lots and lots of fishtailing until eventually I killed myself. It took me a lot of attempts to finish that track and unlock another, and I changed cars and went to this new track, and it was a lot nicer, very manageable. One of the other modes you can play is this big pit thing where you fight against 12 other cars. Felt like some of the damage I did was not really proper. Another mode that there is a bigger battle with 24 cars, and that's pretty much the same. I feel like I would smash into things and only do 1% damage. It didn't seem quite right, but whatever. I actually won both of those battle rounds. And then there's a stuntman mode, which I was really just awful at. Here's a few of my attempts at getting Ron Jeremy somewhere, and eventually I find out that you're actually supposed to land on a target, and I eventually do hit the target, but still end up losing. Hazen, it's an RPG, and you start off with no real storyline, just an axe and some instructions on how to use it. I found that just hitting the A key will auto-walk to the nearest enemy and just chop him up. So not really the most amazing combat system. Still no storyline now that we're at town though. Each quest they give you just kinda takes you further and further away from town, so by the time I got this super fun mule escort quest, I was pretty far out, and everything had started to respawn on my way back to town, which was super fun. Finally have some indication of a storyline here. This dude was an herbalist, and he hasn't been seen for a while, so I'm going to check it out. If you alt-tab at all while playing this game, it will crash. So that's just kind of one of the little fun things that would cause it to break. I switched to staff because it did about as much damage as my sword, and I had the added benefit of being able to heal myself, so that was nice, not having to run away and wait for my health to regen. This boss doesn't seem to be doing anything. Let me just kinda sneak up on him. Whoa, whoa! He's activated! Thank goodness they tell me to block every time I need to, because I don't know if I could have figured that one out. So now that I know when to block, I basically take almost no damage during the entire fight. I did go to the second level, but it wasn't much more amazing. I did suffer an intentional death just to see what would happen, and you just lose some experience, so not that big of a deal. They give you these teleport scrolls, and I thought it would take me back to town, but when I used it, it just took me about 5 feet away. Luna, Shattered Hearts, Episode 1. I am extremely frustrated with this game. I've had to record this audio for it multiple times just because just trying to do that is frustrating enough for me. It's a platformer that attempts to be an RPG, And for some reason they put a bind on the gamepad that changes it from full screen to like tiny window, so I hit that a lot. They put a ton of dialogue in it to try to build the story up, but they just kind of put a whole bunch on there all at once. The map tells you where you need to go and what you need to do, though. You need 10 of each of these colored bean things. I think if I had a tail I wouldn't wear hot pants like that. It seems uncomfortable. So the one type of bean you buy from this vendor dude here, but don't plan on buying too many potions or other things to keep yourself alive because you kind of need to save your money for the beans. These blue things fill up my light meter, which I was never sure what exactly it did, but I do this to make it look like I'm pooping them out. Ha ha ha. The pink thing will poop out some health for you every now and then, but the rate is super slow, so I found myself when I was low health just standing around waiting for it to do its thing. Second type of bean, you gotta lure these dudes away from that big deadly thing and they immediately run away. They're super hard to kill and the drop rate for the beans is super duper low, so that's fun. The developer says that it's meant to be like this. It's meant to take a really long time to grind out these items, so that's exactly what I want in a platformer, is a super long grind for things. Third type of bean, you gotta kill this beetle and make that green stinky stuff, and then hit this button and make these dudes come out. Slice them just to make it go faster because they multiply, and kill them near the gas. Look how many I have to kill to get one stinking bean. It took forever to get them all, so very frustrating. Train Simulator 2009. Although on my Steam list it said it was settled in Carlisle, the game starts out with a wiki page because it's so complicated apparently. And there's this rail yard mode which basically lets you toot the horn and look at all your different trains you got. When I first launched the game, it ran this really creepy batch file, which started downloading a bunch of stuff. And whenever I had the game going, it had a daemon going in the background, which when I exited, wouldn't go away and had to be closed via the task manager, which is also super creepy. I think I probably have a trains virus now. I'm gonna have to really do some thorough investigation on that now. Multiple attempts were made to do this mission. I did choose the easy mode, but it probably wasn't easy enough for me. I don't think it was all user error though. I think the game is quite borked, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna back up and try to get these things here. See this cart? I'm gonna get that cart. Gotta click on the little switches and make sure they're going the right way. Okay. Successfully coupling the train thingy. And we're going. Okay. Navigate to the dairy. What are these X's? What's going on here? What's happening? Alright, I didn't actually click anything on this menu, but somehow my engine disappeared. And I cannot find it. And there does not seem to be anything I can do. And this is basically what happened every time. My engine's gone. Tex Murphy, Overseer. Tex Murphy is a classic computer franchise, and I think probably a lot of people are happy that they have put the games on Steam. Fortunately, they haven't been updated or anything to work very well. So one of the gameplay type things is you have these.
Tex? Are you okay? Sit up for a minute in the camera.
No, I've fallen. I can't get up.
Yeah, so you get to pick responses to this video stuff, and I guess that's all fun and stuff. You feel like you're part of the story, but I ended up having to play through this quite a few times, and no matter what I picked, the results were kind of always the same. They were just different snarky remarks. It took me forever just to get this recording on my recording software because it was tough. I finally did get it running, and then I ran into another error which I spent forever trying to fix. And this is one of the errors, but I just disabled the music and got it running again. And then finally, I ran into this error here, which apparently I would have had to roll back my video card drivers, and I'm not willing to do that. So basically, after spending 2.5 hours, this was all the footage I really got of this game. So, from what I can tell, it's broken for most people, and if it weren't broken, it would probably be highly rated. So, that's this week's games. They're pretty terrible, but that's what we're here for. A lot more frustration than I'm used to in playing these. I'm usually able to, have a good time despite it being a bad game, but I ran into a lot of trouble this week. Um, Another reason why the video was late, I know I don't really have a set schedule, but this one came out probably a lot longer delay than the other videos in the past, was I was visiting with my family last week and convinced my sister to let her kids come and play on my Minecraft server, which is a survival server, so I had to help them out quite a bit, and it kind of renewed my interest in my Minecraft server, and I've been hanging out on it quite a bit, so uh, maybe in the future I can show you around it a bit and see all the cool stuff that my family and my friends have made. But I'll see you after the holidays, and if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you have a good one. Bye!